Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule exceptionally well. They continually feed the flock with 100% truth. They do that free of charge, and they uplift and they magnify the name of Yahweh and the name of Yahweh Shai. Let me say shalom, citations, mercy, and blessings to all the sincere brothers that's out there pushing this word with truth and with faith, striving to be a part of the hopeful elect. Your brother Thabua Amath of Great Millstone Northwest. I'm coming back with another edition of the Cost of AI. This will be part 3. Please forgive me. I can feel it, as the minutes tick. I can feel pretty much my sinuses starting to try to kick my ass. It's raining pretty hard outside. I don't know what it is. I was fine all day, and then just all of a sudden, within maybe the past 20 minutes or so, I can feel a little difference, but and I can kind of hear it. I don't know if it's picking up through the microphone or not, but I can kind of hear it. Me getting a little bit more nasally. My nose trying to close up on me. So forgive me for that. But I wanted to come back with another part 3 of the cost of AI. All right, just to keep this rolling, I want to kind of roll through these so I can start focusing on a couple of other things as far as videos go. But let's go through this because, again, I find this a little interesting how much money it does cost for AI, which, in all honesty, is just going to push us even further into them moving money to a digital infrastructure rather than it being cash based. Okay. And we've gone into the iBot yacht. If you've watched part 1 and part 2, you know that we've gone into Habakkuk 2 and 6 and looked into the word of iBot yacht, which is Dick Clay, which we know Esau Edom has a debt based society. That's a form of control on his end. But then also we looked at the national debt base for America, which is well into the trillions. I don't remember exactly what the number was. However, it's well into the trillions. If you watched part 2, you seen something relatively recent as far as what that was. Anyway, so the third question that I asked the AI on this topic of the cost of running AI is how much does it cost to run AI data centers? Because we entered into it pretty much outlined the infrastructure of AI and the cost of that, and then the cost of you. That's what the infrastructure is what we covered in part 1. Part 2 was pretty much the cost of an input in what you receive back from putting an input into AI, whether that's asking a question or producing a video, producing a picture, or so on and so forth. However it is that you may be interacting with AI, which they are kind of forcing upon you. All right, anything technologically getting upgraded seems to have AI capabilities. Your computer, the computer programs and operating systems seems to all be going towards AI. Your phone has AI capabilities. They're kind of just pushing this all forward, and it costs quite a bit of money to be able to do so. So let's check this out. An AI data center. How much does it cost to run an AI data center? It says that's the $1 billion question. Quite literally, the cost of running AI data centers is astronomical and represents one of the largest capital expenditures in the tech industry today. Let's break down the numbers at different scales. And this is when we'll really start getting into big dollar cost on AI. Okay. It says cost components of AI data centers, capital expenditure, CapEx, the build cost, GPUs, AI chips, the biggest expense, NVIDIA H100 GPUs cost anywhere from 25,000 to 40,000 each. A single rack of 8 H100s is $2 million. Okay. A single rack of 8 of them is $2 million. Large data centers need thousands of these chips. All right. So a single rack is $2 million, and they need thousands of these chips to have a large data center. And the American government is definitely pumping in a lot of money for an AI infrastructure. All right. Meanwhile, they're taking away benefits from you. They're keeping the government shut down, but they're not halting or revising their plan on how they're going to move forward with AI. That should have you thinking. Okay. Says building an infrastructure is from $500 to $1,000 per square foot. All right. You think about that. Square foot, a 12 by 12 square area can be up to $1,000. Okay, that is a lot when you think about that. They have warehouse sized buildings that is nothing but an AI data center. You think about that. Okay, it says power infrastructure, transformers, substations, backup generators, cooling systems, advanced liquid cooling systems are essential. All right, so that's all covered under the capital expenditure. Okay, operational expenditure, OPEX. All right, the running costs. So that's just the capital. That's just to have the space for it. Okay, and the hardware, so to speak, the physical aspect of it is what's underneath the capital expenditure. So now that you have the physical thing there, how much does it cost to run it? Let's look into that. The running cost. Electricity, it needs massive power. It has massive power consumption. A single AI server rack can draw 40 to 100 kilowatts. Now that is quite a bit of energy. Okay, I'm not sure if you get a physical energy bill or not. All right, but for your house, for you to power your house for a month, matter of fact, bear with me just 1 second. I'll take a look at my energy bill and I'll tell you how many kilowatts. Do I have one of the? I don't have one sitting right here in front of me. Hold on. Give me just a second and I'll tell you what, for my house, what we have here as far as kilowatts go. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, here we go. Kilowatts. So in the month of February of this year of 2025, it looks like for February, which was our highest month according to this bill that I'm looking at, we used about 120. And at that time, mind you, at that time there was 3 adult individuals within the house living in February, which means we're in the winter time. All right, so we were using quite a bit of energy to keep the house warm. That's running everything, heaters, refrigerator, everything running, and it was about 120 kilowatts per day. All right, so that was for the month of February. That's what it looked like the average was. So a single AI server can draw 40 to 100 kilowatts. Now, it did not give us a time frame on that. However, just think about that. Okay, think about how much electricity that truly is. It says, and that's just a single AI server rack. All right, there's thousands of there's thousands of chips, but there's hundreds of these racks that these chips are making up. Okay, it says traditional data center rack is only 5 to 15 kilowatts. All right, the water for the cooling system is millions of gallons annually. All right, network connectivity, high speed internet and interdata center links, and then you got maintenance and staff, which is 24/7 in technical terms. All right, so the cost estimates at different scales: small regional AI data center, mid-size 1 to 5 megawatt capacity, 100 to 500 AI servers. All right, the build cost of that is anywhere from $50 million to $200 million. Annual operational cost is anywhere from $5 million to $20 million. Okay, typical use, medium enterprise research institution. So that's on the small scale. You got to remember that's a small regional AI data center, but that's not truly what the American government is putting money into. That's not what some of these that's not the big tech AI that's being produced. None of that. Okay. Large hyperscale AI data centers. All right, that's more like it. Size is anywhere from 20 to 100 megawatt capacity. Thousands of AI servers. All right. The build cost is anywhere from 500 million to $2 billion. 2 million. I'm sorry, $2 billion plus. All right. Annual operating cost is anywhere from 50 million to 200 million plus. Okay. Examples of those is the Microsoft, the Google, the Amazon, all right, AI facilities. And then you have massive AI campus, which is multiple data centers, all right. Size anywhere from 100 to 500 plus megawatt total capacity. Build cost from 5 billion to 20 billion plus. Annual operating cost from 500 million to 2 billion plus. Examples is like Meta's $800 million AI data center in Indonesia, or Microsoft's $1 billion plus AI investments. So you think about those numbers, man, and you think about some of these companies. I'm sorry, not AI. Meta, Microsoft. These are companies that will get bailed out by the government if they were to start to go under. If these AI costs came and start to eat them up to where those companies was at risk of being at bankrupt, the American government will come and bail them out. So just keep that in mind, man. Meanwhile, you can't get food stamps. All right. Meanwhile, you can't get a decent wage. All right. Meanwhile, your electricity bill is going up. I know our electricity bill here where we're at is going up. Okay. Mind blowing specific examples. You got Microsoft's AI data center plans, which is planning to spend $50 billion just on data center construction in 2024. Okay. Just in 2024, they planned on spending $50 billion, which I'm curious to see how much they actually did spend. That information should be out as we are in the late stage of 2025 at this time. Building AI data centers that cost $100 million each for the building alone, plus billions in hardware. So that's a lot of money just getting pumped in there. And we know that Microsoft does not have any good intentions for the human race. All right. That guy Bill Gates, who is not, so they say he's not involved with Microsoft anymore, but you know he's got a hand in whatever's stirring that pot. Okay. And he has no good intentions for humankind in general. All right. You got to remember, this is a guy that said that they want to genetically engineer cows, or change eating habits from people being able to eat real meat to eating crickets and cockroaches and so on. Okay. Planning to have, what's this? 350,000 H1 GPUs by the end of 2024. Again, this is for Meta. I'm sorry, we switched over to Meta's AI infrastructure. Now, this information is telling me from 2024. I'm wondering where it's at today in 2025. All right. It says it's planning to have 350,000 H1 GPUs by the end of 2024. At $30,000 each, that's 10.5 billion in GPUs alone. So where is this money? Where is this money coming from? That's the question. All right. They just have this much money to pump into this technology that's not even fully developed yet, as they would say. Okay. Which shows you how serious they are in really setting up an AI infrastructure and a digital infrastructure. Okay. They're showing you exactly how serious they are in that by the amount of money that they're pumping into that versus helping people get out of poverty or helping people, rise above, the struggles of life. And it seems like everybody in this day and age of late 2025 is in a little bit of a financial squeeze. Meanwhile, these companies are pumping in all this money that could go to actually helping people better their lives. Instead, it's going towards setting up this AI infrastructure. All right. It says the total AI infrastructure investment is 30 to 35 billion in 2024. So how much more in 2025? How much more in 2026? Why so expensive? The unprecedented scale factors. All right. Power density. AI racks draw 5 to 10 times more power than traditional servers. Okay. Cooling demands. Air cooling isn't significant. sufficient, isn't sufficient. It requires advanced liquid cooling. Hardware cost, AI chips are incredibly expensive and in short supply. Power consumption, a large AI data center can use as much electricity as a medium sized city. All right. Like I said before, AI is pretty much a a financial black hole, which only proves that they are planning to do away with the current money system. All right. Because they can't really afford this. Can't really afford to just continually pump money into this, you know, because where's that money coming from? Granted, they print money out of thin air, but that's only going to increase inflation, and ultimately, it's you as a living human that's going to feel the effect. You as a living human living here in Babylon the Great, you're the one that's going to feel the effect of them producing this AI. It's not going to be as if AI is paying this bill. The working class is the one that's going to be paying this bill, and we get into that a little further down in the questioning line. Okay, it says real estate needs to be near reliable, cheap power sources and water for cooling. So it really, and this was pointed out by brothers before, that a lot of these data centers is where farmland was. Okay, they buy up some of these farms, and instead of using that land to grow food, they're using that land to build these data centers. Okay, it says the running cost breakdown for a typical 100 milliwatt AI data center. Annual electricity cost is anywhere from 50 to 100 million at industrial rates. The hardware, what is that? Depreciation. I'm sorry. Man, some words, man. Just the way I first look at them. I have a thing where I don't really like read words through. I kind of look at the first couple of letters, and my mind plays the guessing game on what the word is rather than just like looking at it. Hardware depreciation, all right. 100 to 200 million annually, and I could just feel myself like losing my voice as I'm speaking. Let me try to get through this quick so I can see if I can go whip up some tea or something to try to get ahead of whatever the hell is going on right now. Staff and maintenance, all right, anywhere from 10 to 20 million. Network and others, 5 to 10 million. Annual costs from 165 to 330 million. All right. The bottom line, we're entering an era where single companies are spending more on AI data centers than many countries spend on their military. Okay? Companies are spending more on AI data centers than what countries are spending on their military. And what are they doing all this for? It's because they need that digital infrastructure set up. All right. A lot of AI is really there to monitor and to replace you as a human in your job, replace you as a human in your function, or to track you in what you're doing and to be able to quickly flag and predict what it is that you're going to do. Okay. And it says that a lot of companies are spending more on these data centers than what countries are spending on their military. And we're in a time of war. That's what's crazy. Okay. It says the scale of investment is hard to comprehend. Total industry AI data centers spending in 2024 estimated at 200 to 300 billion dollars. Projected in 2027 could exceed 500 billion annually, man. All right. So they'll spend that money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that, if used properly, can help a lot of people rise above the poverty line. But that's not what they're going to use it for, man. They're going to use it for the AI infrastructure. Okay. It says this explains why tech CEOs like Sam Altman say AI compute will be the most precious commodity in the world, and why companies are raising tens of billions of dollars. They need it just to keep the lights on for their AI ambitions. All right. So we'll wrap that as part 3. We'll come back as part 4. It says, where is the money to operate all of the AI and data centers coming from? That's the next question that I asked, and we'll see what it says in part 4. Tune in. I need to go and see what the hell's going on with my sinus. Why it feels like my nose is closing up. on me. And hopefully I'll see you back in part 4. All right. Until next time, I'm going to say shalom.